last alive. But there's a lot of things we learned in that listen in is the fact that Zero, given those calls, is doing the cardinal directions to the actual degrees, like 300 west go. And Jen Burton lives to see another day. But for Oblivion, who have racked up 3 eliminations, find themselves in the top 5, Vicky, and in a really solid position.
It's great for them to also have that fence line to their right to stay out of the line of sight of the squads that are trying to look at them. I'm thinking about KCP playing off that slight low ground here, while Oblivion do have the height. They're playing in a split position to hold 2 different angles at the same time. 2 on your left, 1 on the height that you currently don't see right now, but KCP on full blue Evos is what I'm worried about. Jen Burton, can you make the magic happen here as a solo? I mean, you're gonna have to play your best with 5 squads left here.
Ooh, all right, disguised. Here, trying to get through these piercing spikes. They can be one of the biggest enemies left in the lobby. Purple mag on the Havoc, which makes it feel pretty nice regardless, considering it got that rework on the mags. Trying to take angles and fight through whatever you can. Sometimes you just gotta push in with the Hemlock and let enemy look to clean things up. Vanity now eliminated into the top 4. Do we have enough time to get a reset without anyone pushing? Well, you should be able to, because you just have a nice Jen Burton on your roof.
That's all you have to worry about, right? But you say that, and Jen is incredibly scary of a player like we know it, and maybe trying to see if you can find an opportunity to capitalize off of what is left of these squads. KCP with blue Evos, though, calling in an evac, right? Looking at them, though, is Oblivion waiting for them to try to commit here, but the smoke nades, there's only so much you can really do here when you're forced to only go in one direction, Tiff.
Yeah, you throw down 2 knuckle clusters and a ton of nades and you save the mother load, but here's what happens. Gent happens. He says, oh, you want to play Fuse? Pony up, baby. Here are my frags. This puts them into the top 3 and gives them a decent rotation out. We see Jen Burton fall, so now into the final 2, and we're going to open things up with some thermites. Let's let it burn.
I need to see a slow-mo what KCP just did to Oblivion. They decimated them, but with our last 2 squads in disguise now, turning things around, they are your game 1 winners. We talk about some changes in this lineup, and QZ are coming through with the rest of this team to make the magic happen for game 1.
Very much dissimilarly to how we've seen the legend meta shift so drastically. Zero, he goes down, but he gets a lot of damage. This is them going on CCE. They get the cleanup, but they might have to do it as a 2 now.
Yeah, and what cost? Zero goes down. Not fooled just yet. FURIA was looking for angles to see what they can, but I mean, if you're gonna punch them straight into the hands of Jen Burton, he said, let there be light, get back up. And now they're gonna get an absolute reset because no one wants to send off the high ground of checkpoint to put any more pressure onto them.
This is part of the intelligence there of who to push, when to push, why. They know that CCE. I mean, no one else is really playing Rampart like that. And so they feel confident they can win that fight and reset. Now FURIA is still on the high ground using the Pathfinder's mobility. That energized zip line is going to make it a little harder to get shot off and fall down. But how long can they stay on this high ground as well? It's Falcons who are getting pressured. It might just be FURIA going to push Falcons. That would leave it up for SSG to come in and maybe win this game.
All right, SSG would see what you can do. Keon grabs that knock onto Hal and immediately jumps towards the other side. It's only a matter of time before they fully send. They're just trying to acquire enough knocks on either side. This is where teams really start watching that kill feed to see just how many have gone the way. But if we're sitting at 6 eliminations, this could be massive. And why not grab a survey beacon scan towards the end of the game to see where everyone is accurately at?
Yeah, I think he's getting some Evo shield as well, and it actually puts Madness onto a red. So that's so interesting because you're going to get that for your team. You do have the ability now to have that extra little bit of armor that might make the difference. FURIA here in a good spot. But when are they going to drop? Falcons is gone. SSG do that. Sometimes it's not a good thing to drop, but they drop under cover, and Keon hits everything. So we thought it might be an even match here, but I don't think so. It's a furious performance from FURIA, and it looks like with that KP, it'll make it a 2v2. SSG has to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and it could just be Zainu doing it. He gets one. Oh, but FURIA clutches up, and they seal the deal in a deliciously deadly 2v2 to win it all.
Flat just did to them. Because yes, you are just in that next zone barely, but you've got a rock and you don't have your high ground. Those focus of attentions are going to keep on coming from Flat, and you love that pressure coming out of them. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a full send from Big Louie. We just kind of wait to get those knuckle clusters back online. We have 4 thermites to work with for this next engagement too.
It's crazy how Flat made this rotate from checkpoint north and are now on the high ground in what is the god spot before they inevitably have to drop here. They've been putting down the pressure. They have 4 KP, and this is a team that needs the dub. Sitting in 24th overall currently with 32 points. Looking to see if they can add on some more KP while they're looking both at KCP right below them and Falcons as a duo.
32 points. Now, granted, because of the point sponge on the series leaderboard coming into today, even 10 points would bring them up to 16th place, and we'll see how it goes. Flat full sending that dynamic duo, taking out the Falcons, putting themselves in the top 3. Now, how do we try to contend with this? Because we are all on polar opposites, looking like the Bermuda Triangle over here at the devastated coast. Pioneers, they have a shrivel left of their building. Same with Yup, but they have so much more cover than Flat does.
And what the decision right there from Flat was so on point, because they know now that the circle's closing in, if they would have moved forward, they are just going to get pinched that the duo was left there as Team Falcon. So they capitalize off of having a number advantage and now are looking at closing the gap as KCP with just Deeds left alone by himself in that building has his teammates to wrap up behind them, eliminating Flat. It is now our last 2 squads between KCP and Yup.
They just deleted Flat, and now here comes Yup with the push. They even get a little bit of a high ground here. We've thrown down the exhibit. Prodigy Aces gets lit up, and now the Havoc doing work. Let's go, Dupe. You've got the trades coming through, and now the push is in. 5 HP in a dream, but Pioneers take match number 3.
Every corner of this final zone, we are spraying and praying with the EVA8, hoping that we find a shot. And Albert Lately with a zip line on top of the rock has stayed alive beyond Tempr. 4 squads remain. Albert Lily finally gets called out, and C9 still has a duo.
Top 5, not a problem. Albert Lily will take that one. Did a lot of work there. Chaotic. Stay naughty. It's DSG back on the other side. NRG has 1 remaining member in Reptar. And we've got Flat, who have maintained this high ground. It's been good positioning from them. Mambo, Nano Fries, Big Louie trying to close this game out, and it seems like they might just be rotating onto C9. This duo trying to get rid of it. There's KP to be had. NRG, Reptar goes down. 3 squads left to decide it all.
And that was with Design and the Sentinel. It would take a literal miracle for Disguise to make today work for them. It would be crazy to see if they come out on top of another game, but a free res coming in from C9, uncontested, because nobody wants to overextend. If Disguise overextends, they get completely destroyed by Flat, who are coming in for a third party. So neither Flat or Disguise want to be the first team to make the move onto C9.
I mean, I'm surprised that Sorcerer made it to the ground. We are playing with Sentinels, though. There's some Volts, some Hemlocks, sure, but there's a few Sentinels out there, especially in the hands of Design. If he's still got bullets, that could change an entire fight. And expect, if they hit a big shot, oh my, speaking of big shots, for them to follow up, but Mamba, before they can even shoot, returns fire, hits for about 100. Flat going, is this the moment? Maybe we should push.
Oh, looking to see if they can get into a position. The smoke to their right, though, blocking out some sight. Mamba gets deleted, having to drop down, though. Maybe he can get a reset here with some boxes right in front of him. He then, in turn, gets focused on by C9. Exactly what they were avoiding. Flat falls to C9. The smoke providing some extra cover, but Design is on another one here, lacking some energy ammo, and he is looking to clean up what he started.
Look at this with the Havoc. It's just 1 magazine and 2 kills. Design and DSG take the win.
eliminated, and there are 4 squads remaining. FURIA, Space Station, Yup, and C9. C9 and Yup, the only 2 that currently have height right now, but FURIA have a Pathfinder, so they could easily try to retake this high ground if they find a third-party opportunity.
Yeah, I'd be really curious to see which of these teams is going to try and make a move first, right? You've got Watsons on both Cloud9 and Yup, so you've got the fences that are trying to kind of hold them steady from those pushes, but we need to see. Prodigy Aces, it's not like he can throw out the Bang ult onto Cloud9. They've got the Jenny down. Then you've got SSG on the low ground, and there's FURIA elsewhere. But Yup and Cloud9 have to eventually duke it out.
Having their own little party here as a duo. Looks like they're in some trouble, but FURIA cannot commit to that fight. They need to stay on the high ground now that the final circle is closing in. They called in a Moby, it looks like, just to build up some space here for them. Evac Tower as well called in right behind them to see if this team could force their way on the high ground. Yup, are not taking their eyes off of C9 right next to them.
Ooh, okay. We love some G7 scout moments. It got a damage buff, albeit it only moved from 32 to 33. But if you're popping headies, it's a good way to force that damage on. You see FURIA full sending Cloud9, and if Yup can just hold off and not allow SSG to take that zip to high ground, this could be a solid game for them to win.
But they've been playing this so patiently that Oblivion is still on the blue Evo, probably very close to leveling up that Evo shield, but FURIA will full purples now, looking to stay alive as a duo here, taking the high ground currently, and are looking to fully send it. They can isolate Oblivion too.
They need to take down FURIA here. Prodigy, you cannot fall. Has to pop a Phoenix kit. That's 10 seconds. And you're saying that FURIA is not going to use that time to their advantage to full send. Yup, Madness gets absolutely annihilated and just trying to hold on. 10 HP. SSG, the ones to take out FURIA. And here comes Yup. They clean it on up and take match number 5. The roof, sky nades galore. 4 eliminations for them is not bad, but Elevate, they found themselves on the roof of Diner. FURIA still in that coexisting with Weave, but they need to take them out. LOTR, Arcstar in hand, waiting to make a play.
Now this is going to be the hard part with 7 squads left. The final zone closing in right behind Weave, currently trying to make their next move while coexisting with FURIA on the high ground here. Oxygen uncontested in their building by Fragment. But we know there's so many different ledges to play off of where we currently saw Elevate on top of the roof if they do want to jump on top of that other building.
SSG still alive. FURIA, your leaderboard at the top right now, still in the mix. But for now, Weave could play spoiler to a lot of those teams, in particular FURIA. But we do need to keep moving. SSG elsewhere has fallen as Elevate has decided to full send Oxygen.
Trying to contest here too while trying to play very slow, getting information off the Seer attack. Exhibit called in, but Carter doesn't have his just yet. He's about to have it at 96%. Looking at a different corner, the heartbeat sensor tells him exactly where that player on the outskirts is sitting.
All right, here we go. We've got to exit this building somehow, but hello, surprise! Maybe we should have opened things up with a few frags of our own before we jumped on out, right into the open arms of Madness, who grabs that initial knock. 5 squads remaining. Now, granted, this could be some of their first eliminations. Weave has fallen, and the onslaught continues. Okay, Keon, it may not be from your setup, but you did just enough to hold on to that. Now, Elevate from the high ground, the mother load, taking up all of the entire ring as the players just burn. Elevate, after that reset, take match number 6.